Okay, I'm so happy to have you guys here. We have Troy,
Thank you.
and he is going to do this coaching tool with us. What is love? All right, let's get straight to it. Well, I would like you to tell me the definition of love. How would you define love? What is love?
I think it's unconditional. It's giving. It's the feeling you get when you make somebody happy. There's other definitions like it's love is not angry, love is kind. Love to me is wanting to give all you can to the person that you love because that makes you feel happy. It's like doing charity, like the feeling you get when you do something for somebody, and when you care about somebody enough to and you love them, you want to do things for them to make them happy, to bring happiness to their life, and that in turn makes you happy by doing those things.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's a beautiful definition of love. So you did kind of touch on where we're going next. We're going to look at the love chapter, Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. And we're going to look at that definition of love and do some work with it. So we are going to read this together. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. I think you said at the beginning of your definition, unconditional. So this would be the descriptives of that unconditional you said.
Right.
So, Troy, I want to ask you if you could choose 3 of these love traits as the toughest for you to be and do for others.
I'll start with love always trusts.
Oh, okay.
Love always hopes.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard. Um,
Your time.
Maybe I'll change that to love is not self-seeking. It does not boast and is not proud.
Okay. Boast and proud. Okay. And if you could, can you tell me what these look like for you? So, what does love always trust? How does that look for you as being difficult to give to others?
I think in certain circumstances it's hard to give to others because I am very trusting because I'm not doing things myself that are untrustworthy, so I don't think they are. But then I do pick up on things like intuition and things don't sound right or sound familiar to something I've heard before as far as somebody deceiving me. So it's hard to put that aside from the past and not like bring that into the future and think that that person's being dishonest with me.
Okay. So it sounds like to me we need to make a distinction because you said that you do trust. And, it's healthy to have healthy boundaries if you're seeing things from someone that you shouldn't trust them because of their behavior, correct?
Right.
It sounds to me like if you've been hurt in the past, you may be reluctant to trust because of that hurt. Is that true?
Yeah, and it's hard to determine whether or not I'm not trusting them because of something, some baggage in the past, um, or a trigger that from something from the past that's now I'm thinking they're doing the same thing, or if they are actually doing the same thing or doing something that I shouldn't trust them. First off, I do trust them 100%, but then that's when I start to question things. If I start getting that gut feeling that I shouldn't be trusting them 100%.
Yeah, that sounds healthy to me.
So maybe that's not a hard thing for me to do. I don't know. Because I do go in trusting people.
Yeah.
With my last relationship, she didn't trust me, and I was doing nothing to not be trusted at all. And I started to wonder, was she doing things, and that's why she doesn't trust me?
I think we should take that one off then, because I think you do go in with trust.
Yeah.
So let's pick a different one.
Keeping no records of wrong.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a tough one. Okay. And I was going to say, what does that look like? But it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah, I try not to, but and I typically won't say anything at the time, but then it's like storing back in my head. I felt wronged, or I wasn't treated, very well, or could have been treated better or different, and so
So
um,
you've got a file in there.
yeah, I don't always use it, but
It's a file of, ooh, this is the hurt file.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and I think and it can come out like in an argument or you
Comes out in arguments. Wow, that's a good awareness. How about the self-seeking? You don't seem like the self-seeking type.
no, not necessarily, but I think that I when I'm in a relationship, I do give a lot of myself, and I don't ask for much. But then there are times where I want some attention or I want something in return. Maybe I want a back massage because I'm always giving back massages, and I think maybe eventually I'll get one too because I've been giving them hundreds of them. Maybe I will get one, hopefully. So that's why I feel like self-seeking is like maybe sometimes I do things and I'm hoping that it will be reciprocated. I don't know. Maybe that's just normal. I think it's normal, but I've been told maybe it's not.
Can I offer my thoughts on it?
Yes, of course, that's why I'm here.
I'm sensing that the self seeking goes along with the trust, that there's a healthy self seeking. And yes, it is completely safe and good to ask for reciprocation. Is it possible that self seeking is a little bit like the trust?
Yeah. At the time, I don't feel like it's anything like I'm doing anything wrong. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with like wanting some reciprocation. But I've the relationships I've had when I have asked for things like that, if they don't offer, I've been told that, oh, well, you only gave me a massage because you want one, or you know,
Is that true?
no, actually, it's not. It's not true. Like I'm doing it because I want to give, and then yeah, I'm hoping that yeah, sometime I'm not going to ask, or I don't want to have to ask. I hope that they just also want to give as well. And so, but when they don't, then I might say, hey, my back. I'm just using that as an example, but I might say, hey, my back is like really hurting today, and it would be nice to get some knots out. And then it's kind of like, all right, or they don't want to put it off. And then it hurts me because I'm thinking, gosh, I don't hesitate to do those things for you because I want to. Like I was saying, the definition of love, you want to do things for the people that you love because you want them to be happy. You want to do things to make them happy. And so when they don't do it in turn, it makes me feel like maybe they don't care as much as I do.
Okay. So I would say your definition of love is definitely in conflict with not self seeking, as far as I don't think it belongs on there. I
I was
don't think it is tough for you, but we can only take it off if you agree. Those did not sound self seeking to me.
yeah, and I've just been told from people that were probably unhealthy as well because they didn't want to have to give. That I was expecting too much from them. I needed somebody that could give more than they were willing to give, and I didn't think I really asked for much. So
Yeah, I think you just figured it out right there. I think that's true. They were probably unhealthy. So let's pick a different one. Again, it's the love traits that are the toughest for you to do for others. And maybe there isn't one.
hmm,
That could be.
honestly, I don't have a hard time doing any of these. Other,
Okay. I think that, Troy, that's a beautiful awareness. Do you realize that? You are a wonderful, giving man. And because I know you, I know those are true for you. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next question then, because the next question is a good one. I need you to choose 3 of these love traits as the toughest for you to be and do for yourself.
only three.
um, Actually, I have a good question. Is it hard for you to do all of them for yourself?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Wow.
I think they're hard to do for myself.
Mhm. So if we had to pick the top few, I almost feel like, well, we'll let you tell me. If you had to pick the top ones that are hardest for you to do for yourself, which ones would they be?
I'd say love is kind. not always doing the best thing for me,
Yeah.
protecting myself. Like, so love always protects. I don't protect myself.
Wow, that's good.
I definitely keep records of what I do wrong.
Okay. Can you describe a bit what the kind looks like? How you're not kind to yourself? How are you not kind to Troy?
Just doing things for myself, taking care of myself, doing things that make me happy.
What makes you happy?
I've been down for the last 2 months. I haven't gone to the gym. That gym's membership that I pay a fortune for. I haven't gone.
Okay.
I've been too down myself lately to go. Treating myself to things, just I know just looking at it, like I definitely don't do for myself as I do for others.
That's a big awareness too. How about protects? Is it along the same lines?
Yeah, where I let myself be treated badly or used or in ways that I don't necessarily like, but I put up with it, and I find justifications to put up with it. I read something recently that talked about the mind will rewrite your history. Like so when you meet somebody and they put out their best effort, you want to believe that's who they are, and you'll ignore everything else, and you'll rewrite everything they do to justify their actions, to fit your scenario of what you believe them to be based on your initial interactions, which will be good because they put their best foot forward. So I will be treated badly and let myself be disrespected or
Mm.
not have self-respect.
Wow. So that was really powerful. So you rewrite the story. You saw yourself doing what you read, correct?
Yeah,
That's good to know too, isn't it?
yeah, that's hit home.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I started thinking about like my past, this last relationship where I had rewritten the story where I was the villain, and kind of forgot about all the things that she had done. And it was more about like, okay, I made a mistake, I did something wrong, but in reality, I didn't make any mistakes. I was honest and true and best I could be, and but I had to find the scapegoats.
Yeah.
Saying sorry and apologizing and putting up with it, and so that's where I don't protect myself.
I'm very happy you know this. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question. I'd like you to choose 3 of these love traits that you have difficulty accepting from God.
It would be easier to say what I have a difficulty accepting from other people, but I don't know. It's hard with God because I believe that everything that's on here.
You do? Have you believed it the last 2 months?
Well, I feel it. I mean, I believe that He feels that way. I just,
So it's you accepting from God. So if you accepted patience, kindness, hope from God, that love never fails from God, do you think maybe you would be kinder to yourself, protect yourself?
yeah,
Okay.
maybe. I think so. Unfortunately, I always try to find that in people.
Yeah. Well, and what do people do?
Let you down. I don't know. They're not perfect. So
Yeah, so God is. So maybe, can I offer a thought?
yeah,
What if you started to accept this from God first, and then maybe you would be able to accept it more from people, or it would translate into doing it for yourself? That's what I'm thinking will happen.
yeah. I think that's what it comes down to is doing it for myself because honestly, if somebody was to be that way with me, I'd have no problem accepting it.
Yes, yes. God pretty much has all this here for us, right?
Right.
And I think that what we've seen in this exercise is that you take all that and you're like, okay, God, yeah, you show me what love is, and I give it to others really well, but I don't give it to me. And I know you've taken the program with me, so I know you know that we have to kind of give it to ourselves first, don't we? In order to get it from others. We have to show that we're valuable in order for others to value us. How does that resonate?
Well, that definitely hits home for sure. I think that somehow I lost that.
So, my next few questions we've already kind of answered. Which form of love is toughest for you? Loving others, loving yourself, or accepting God's love?
I would say loving myself
Yeah.
for sure.
So, God says we matter. God wants us to love ourselves the way He loves us. And then I asked which form of love is the easiest for you. And you've got no problem loving others, as we've established. It's really powerful to see it laid out like this.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I knew I was like that. I knew I didn't really do things for myself, and I gave and gave to other people. Just like I read that book, Five Languages of Love. I did it this one lady just for a little while, and she'd read it too, and she said, "Wow, well, yours is physical touch and quality time, but you give all five of them like completely equally, all of them all the time." And maybe I would like the back too. That's why I give it, because I enjoy all those little things at different levels. But I definitely don't do it for myself.
Okay. What if that's the key?
I see that.
You think it is?
Well,
Is it worth a try?
I see how I've been enabling others to treat me the way they have because I did not treat myself this way.
Yeah. So, is it a priority?
It should be a
Is
priority.
it?
It's hard to
Is
do.
it? Should I use the word should or not?
It shouldn't.
So, it is loving yourself a priority. Have we discovered that today?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I love that you said that definitively, definitely. Yes, Troy. Someone as giving as you, God really wants you to give that to yourself so that you can get it from another person. Because unfortunately, it's kind of the law of the universe. We can't receive from others what we don't give to ourselves. So let's look at each one: the kind, the protects, and records of wrong. And I'd like you to reflect upon your life. Let's come up with some ways that you can start loving yourself the way God loves you, because that's going to create major cataclysmic shifting for you, Troy. I really believe that. So let's
Yeah.
come up with a few ideas. Let's start with kind. How can you offer yourself kindness the way God does to you?
That's a hard one for me to think of, like what I could do for myself, take care of myself better.
So think of God as your dad, how a dad takes care of his son. Maybe that helps you. You know, you've got a son and you lost a son. How deep was your love for them? Would you do anything for them? Yeah, it's the same as God. So we want to emulate that kind of love for self. Or maybe a great way to think about it is the ways that you bestow kindness on others, that same feeling and that same attitude, how can you give that to you? That same feeling. Because what we want to elicit, Troy, is that euphoric feeling you have when you make someone happy. We got to replicate that, but for you. So let's come up with some ideas. Brainstorm.
I don't know. Maybe cook myself dinner.
I like that. Because would you do that for someone else?
Yeah.
Okay. Love it. Cook yourself dinner. Fantastic. Give me another one.
I would say like go to the movies or go on a hike or
Okay.
go get something new.
I thought of one. What if you treated yourself to a massage?
Yeah.
That's a good start with the kindness. How about the protection? Protects.
I would definitely have to respect myself more.
Okay.
And,
What does that look like?
well, there's just things I put up with that other people wouldn't put up with. Like if I did that to them, they'd be gone, and I put up with it.
Yeah, let's make a few statements. I will not put up with.
Double standards.
Yes. 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 What else?
Just I don't know, dishonesty,
Dishonesty, definitely.
or
I said earlier, distrust.
having my character. That really hurt more. I think the fact that I had been completely loyal and honest, and then to be accused of that, or even saying I love you and having them go, uh-huh, right, sure. Or saying something really sweet that I totally meant and then have them say, uh-huh, yeah, right. It was like every time they said that, it made me feel like they thought I was a liar. They were calling me a liar or that I was this horrible person that they didn't believe. And that really kind of hurt my heart because I wasn't that person.
That is not your person. So I will not put up with having my character questioned.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Joy, that is amazing. Those three right there are amazing. They're so good. How are you going to keep these real for you as the next weeks and months go by? What can you do? I need
Write
some.
it down, put it up on the wall, honestly, and read it every day because I've been struggling last couple months, like I said, and I've found it really hard to kind of motivate myself. And I finally this weekend started the feeling that again that I need to get out of this funk and start working on me, and no one else is going to do it. I have to. Kind of
Okay. I
find
love
out
what you
a
said.
way, get back to where I was. Just get on back on track and be that leader again.
Yes, that is you. That's a real you. So I love what you said. You're going to write it, put it up on the wall, and see it every day. So when are you going to write it?
When am I going to write it?
When are you going to write it?
I was thinking I would just print this off and then put it up on the wall and highlight all the ones that I don't know. I should write down the things I said, not just the bullet points of love always protects, but like write down the definition of what I just told you.
Yes, I can send that to you if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, because we need those statements on there because those are huge for you. So we want, I will not put up with double standards, dishonesty, and having my character questioned. So would you like me to do that tonight? You're going to get that and put that on your wall tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we got an ASAP on that, which is good. And you know, it'd be awesome if we could measure how we're doing. Because when I hold you to the fire, it motivates. So how are you going to know how you're doing in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks? How can we measure your results?
Well, it shouldn't be very hard. I've been down so much lately that doing anything would be an improvement. But going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week like I used to.
Oh, I love that. Gym. Okay, that's good too. This is awesome. We've got so many good things going on here. So can I offer an idea?
Yeah.
So what if you chose a date in the future? Put it on your calendar to remind you to check in with yourself or an accountability partner with how I'm doing. How's that feel?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Because the idea here is to keep it alive, right? We don't want to do this and forget about it, which we humans do. So you can choose an accountability partner, or I can be one to report back on the date that you choose. What would you like to do?
I would feel more accountable if it was you.
Okay. I'll be that for you. And what's the date? So I can be looking forward to hearing from you.
I don't know, you're thinking like in 2 weeks,
Do you think in 2 weeks?
but yeah, I think that either a week, maybe even next week, not putting it
I'm going to
off.
mark my calendar. I'm going to say that I should be hearing from Troy. So a week from tonight, next Monday?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll be checking in with me. And if I don't hear from you, you'll hear from me. Troy, I really think this was a phenomenal exercise. I'm really happy for you. I'm grateful for you because I think we discovered some great stuff. We discovered that you are the love chapter and you can be humbly proud of that you're a loving, kind, patient, protector, truster, hoper to others. But then where we saw that you just don't give that to yourself. And that's a key ingredient for future healthy relationships. You discover that you are going to be kind to yourself. You're going to do some cooking, some dinner, some movies, hiking, going to the gym, and maybe even getting that massage, which I would highly recommend. And then you are not going to put up with double standards, dishonesty, or having your character questioned. Beautiful. That will really protect you, Troy. That's going to be awesome. Okay, so we're going to put that into practice with everything that you've done tonight. And I'm just so excited with the accountability. And we'll be checking in next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you had to kind of rate your awareness on this experience and what it did for you tonight, what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say a 10. It's as far as what we were talking about. I definitely it was very clear once we talked about it what was going on, what the problem
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. And that's exciting. Truth really does set you free, doesn't it? Okay, Troy, super grateful for you. Thank you.